Happy Wednesday, everybody. It is Nancy Thompson with Create with Nancy, and I am so glad to be here today to share some creative ink with you. We are talking about gilded leafing today. It's this probably a sleeper product in our annual catalog, and it's just kind of like a fun way to add a wow to your project. So if you're joining in today, say hello and we will get started. So yes, gilded leafing, it's just it's a nice gold accent that you can add to a project. So if you're just joining in, I'm Nancy Thompson of Create with Nancy. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for like almost 22 years. I think it's 22. Yeah, almost 22 years. Next month is my Stampin' anniversary at the end of the month in November. And so it's just been a whirlwind type of adventure. So hi Stella, welcome. So have you tried gilded leafing before? It's in our annual catalog, and it's this little jar here of gilded leafing. It's like gold flakes. They're so soft and just kind of fun to work with. But I'm going to show you just a simple and easy way to add some gilded leafing to a project. It's just a lot of fun. So, hi Kathy and Bev, welcome. So let's get started because everybody's time is at a premium nowadays, and we will just get started. So if you're joining me here on Facebook or YouTube, make sure to leave a comment and let me know that you're here, where you're joining from, and whether it's your first time as well, okay? All right, so gilded leafing. Let me move those dimensionals out of the way. Yeah, so what I have is, let me show you the stamp sets we're using today. We are using Go-To Greetings and Brightest Glow. So my projects are a great way. We're just using words and some designer paper today. So I have a great fall card to share with you. Let me hold on. Why can't I? There we go. Okay, so I've got a great fall card to share with you and a holiday card. So using the leaves or boughs of holly designer paper, and we're using the rustic harvest designer paper. Hi Donna, I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so here is this gorgeous rustic harvest designer paper. And let me just zoom in just a little bit more so you guys don't have to squint so hard. So it's got a pattern on one side, and then it's a black and white pattern on the other color scheme. So really kind of a cool concept, but we're going to use this pattern here. This is a fun designer paper, and where the whole thing is just like all these flowers, okay, that come across. So let me just move a few things out of the way here. So I've already pre-cut my strips, okay? I'm using, so I've kind of like, this is the design that we've got like flowers that go across on one side, and then it's the mirror image on the other side. So this is a great way to use this. So I've cut my designer paper up here in strips, and that's going to be part of the card. So how to add gilded leafing. So let me show you. I keep my leafing in a Tupperware container. It's fairly large, so that way, and you want to be careful when you take the lid off because the leafing just kind of poofs, okay? So really make sure your work surface is kind of like clean, because this stuff will get all over the place. So if you have a lot of extra fluff on your table items, you might want to try to clear off as much as possible so you've got an open workspace when you're working with this, okay? So let me throw that over there. And I have a sponge. This is one of our old Stampin' Up! Sponges, but you can use anything. You could use, you know, kind of a fairly large paintbrush, larger than this, just to kind of brush off. You want it kind of stiff as well. Just something with a little stiffness to it so you can brush the leafing off and blend it in as well. Okay. And then let's look at the inside. There is a ton of leafing in this container, but we're going to just pop out a bunch. It's very staticky. We don't need too much because these nice leaves, these are kind of fun to lay down if you're doing like a large area, and it just kind of sticks everywhere. It's just fun. There's no right or wrong to using it. And as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see, there's all these tiny little pieces in there. I have been using that up on the samples I've made to share with you guys today. It just keeps being used, you know. So, okay, let's set that aside for a minute. As you can see, I'm starting to get some leafing on my table here. Okay, so how do we apply it? You can use tear tape, okay, and create kind of like a strip of adhesive that this will stick to. I love the adhesive sheets, okay, so we're going to use an adhesive sheet today. Let me think here. I might have put that away and I wasn't supposed to. Hang on. So I cut our adhesive sheet. It's the same size as my cardstock, okay? And this is going to mount we'll mount this onto this mossy meadow afterwards, okay? So let me show you. You want to kind of like push this down. It helps like for the adhesive to stick to one side here, because this is double-sided, okay? And the worst part is getting it started. And you want to usually it sticks to only one side. So this is the non-sticky side. This side over here has the adhesive on it. You want to try not to touch it, okay? That's why I kind of peel it back gently and try not to touch it. I'm using this as kind of like my holder, and I'm going to just lay this directly down and just take your time, because once it's stuck, okay? You don't want to try to lift it, okay? And that's all you need to do to apply that adhesive sheet. Okay, so my cutting, I've got a little bit of excess adhesive that went beyond the cardstock, so I'm going to trim that off because I don't want any of that leafing to go beyond my cardstock. So I'm just going to cut this, and I always keep a pair of scissors when I'm working with glue. These are my glue scissors, or if I'm cutting something really rough, and versus my nice paper scissors. So if you have glue, there's a couple different ways to get adhesive, because when I'm done here, these are really lots and lots of glue on adhesive on them, okay? They're really sticky. So I just take this adhesive remover. We used to sell these. We no longer carry them in our catalog. But if you have like a Dollar Tree, you can easily find these there. Generally is at the Dollar Tree. So give that a try. So I just use this to take the adhesive off my blade. You could also use, I think this is easier than using alcohol. I think that's, and you're touching the blades too, and these scissors are really sharp. Our snips are extremely sharp, and it's just easy to slice your finger when you're cleaning with an alcohol wipe too, okay? But I love using the adhesive remover. Okay, so those are clean, and now we've got cardstock on one side, and we've got our adhesive on this side. Okay, Gail has gilded leafing. Okay, I'm glad you're gonna, I'm hoping I give you some inspiration today. Okay, so we might be doing one of these projects at club. Okay, so now I'm going to, so what I'm gonna do is, let me back it up here before I take the adhesive off. So what I'm gonna do is we are going to put these strips on this, okay? And we're gonna create a border. I'm gonna just look. I want a border around the outside, and then I want some, you know, space in between these two strips here as well. Okay, I think I need to zoom in even more. There we go. So I want some space. I'm just kind of getting a feel, just about 1/8 of an inch. And we will set those up there. I've got them in the order because as you can see, they're cut apart and I want to keep that line of succession going there, okay? And so now we can peel this off. So remember, you want to try not to touch the adhesive. Okay, and welcome to everybody who's joining in. I'm glad you're here. So as you can see, I'm just touching the edge of this cardstock, trying to peel this off, okay? Because when you, I'm just looking, yeah, that looks good. Because you really, if you pull any of this adhesive off, the gilding will not stick there, okay? So then you're gonna have like a bare spot. All right, so let's put this down. Actually, I'm gonna kind of turn it that way. I like to start with my outer edges first, and I'm gonna just kind of tilt these a little bit and get a feel where I am, and make sure I get it far enough to the edge that I want, okay? Last time I had too much of a border, so just be careful, kind of just take your time. Okay, so, because once it's down, it's down. All right, so let's turn it this way, and I don't know, I can see better when I'm like, got a full surface in front of me. And let's get this one done. And hopefully I left enough room. If not, we might just do a little bit of, yeah, it's not bad. You know what? I'm going to just, let me grab my trimmer here, and it'll be okay if we just trim off a little sliver, okay? Like barely. I mean, I literally mean a sliver, okay? Oh, I must have used that on something. The edge is like, I must, the blade. Hang on. I need to grab my other trimmer because it roughed it up. I must have used something kind of sharp. Let's just do this. And I'm going to have to change the blade in that one. Let's see if I can cut this. It's a tiny little piece. Did I do it enough? I feel like. So just a little sliver is what I kind of took off. I don't feel like I did it even. So let's just, might have had better luck if I just did the scissors to begin with. Okay. Let's move that out of the way. So we're going to add this in between here because see how much space that gave me it in between there, and it really didn't make a difference. Okay, now maybe if I'd done the pine cone side, so kind of evaluate that, you know, whether is it going to be less obvious on which side. Okay. All right, so now we're ready for the leafing, okay? So let's see. We're going to pull the leafing back in. Whoops, I'm flying it all over. And I am just going to, so this is where you could pick up, you know, leafing, and depending on how big it is, you could just kind of brush it in with your finger if you wanted to, but it just kind of sticks to everything. So I'm just going to kind of tap this around a little bit and pick up some of this leafing. Look at this. Isn't this just so much fun? And we'll just kind of work our way around this, just kind of rubbing, just doing a gentle rub, okay, over that adhesive, getting it to stick. And hopefully you guys are seeing this okay. It just really creates a cool and easy wow to your card, versus embossing, you know, like heat embossing too. You wouldn't get the same effect. Okay, we're just kind of rubbing it in until you're sure that all that adhesive is covered. Okay, let's see. Okay, so while I'm rubbing this in, just a reminder, if you're local to me, Friday is the last day of in-person classes for October. So there's still a few spots left. So if you're interested, just make sure to message me as soon as possible to say you can come. Okay, Friday, it's been in the latest email, so just message me the times and to make sure there's a spot. Okay, there's a variety of projects to choose from, and they're kind of first come, first serve. Okay, all right, so I think this looks pretty darn good. Let's just do one more swipe through to get any excess. You know, look on the back, kind of rub your sponge or whatever you're using. You can use a sponge from the store, any really, you know, it's just kind of like a poofy sponge. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Isn't that kind of cool? So let's set our leafing aside because we're going to do another one here shortly. And I've got a baby wipe. We're just going to kind of wipe up this leafing just a tad bit. Love to keep baby wipes on hand. Okay. Pick up some of that leafing for a little bit. Okay. All right. So what do you guys think? Are you loving this? I know. Isn't that just so pretty? Look at that. It just really creates a wow, doesn't it? All right. So, just looking. Okay. So, so let's finish up our card. So we're going to, add this here to our Mossy Meadow card mat here. And let's add some multi-purpose glue to our back side. There we go. I know I'm liking this designer paper. I have a bunch of it that haven't used, and I just think these are kind of fun to make. Okay, so let's pull in just a note. This is from our go-to greeting stamp set, which I love. So let's line up our label here, and hopefully this will be straight. There we go. Okay, great. All right, just a note goes with anything, don't you think? Okay, I'm glad you guys are loving the gilded. So who has gilded leafing? Anybody here have it? And let me think here. I've got a piece of Mary Merlot here. So we're going to just flag the ends here. Oh, that looks awful. It's a wonky flag here. Usually I have a punch that I use, but I didn't grab that. Okay. All right, I think that looks good. That one's wonky too. All right, that looks better. Okay, so so I just put a little bit of adhesive in the center, and we're gonna just lay this down there. I think I got that even. Yes, I'm gonna see Colleen tomorrow and Shirley, and I'm not sure who else is on here. Love it, and you have it, and you forget to use it. I know, it kind of just sits on the shelf. But fall's a great time to add that gold to your projects, I think. Okay, so let's grab some dimensionals, because we're going to put a dimensional on here. And I'm kind of doing that, and then we'll put some dimensionals on this too. So we're using a Crush Curry card base, okay? And the label is from those Stylish Shapes label, okay? Love it, and I do have some. Okay, good, because we're going to be using some of these at our team meeting too, Shirley, in November at our retreat. So you'll get inspired to pull it out and use it some more. Okay, so let's fold our cardstock in half here, okay? And let's see, we're going to just center this right there. And then we'll add our label. So wasn't that like a really simple card? And then we're just going to add this. I'm not even going to add any gems to this, okay? And then we're going to add a liner on the inside. We're going to mat it on our mossy meadow here. There we go. So, okay. So let's do this, and then we are going to be all set and have a nice blank card ready to go when you need one. Sometimes it's just great to have just a note, and then you write it off. Okay, I've already applied my designer paper because we're not really pulling any stamps in other than words. Okay, so I've adhered that, and let me grab my scissors here, my paper, and we're just going to give it a quick haircut around this flap. Okay, this is a great way to use up that designer paper that we all love to hoard, right? So get rid of it. You could even, like if you had a small skinny scrap, to put it on the inside of your card as well. Okay, what do you think? Isn't that just gorgeous? Oops, let's see. There we go. All right, so I hope you try that. Hi, Margaret. Yes, you definitely need to try the gilded leafing. Okay, so card number 1 is done. So now we're going to switch to Christmas. So who is starting their Christmas cards? Who has started? Because, you know, it's going to be here before we know it. Before we start that, I want to point out, yesterday Stampin' Up! Updated the clearance rack, okay? So I want to share, as far as I know, it's still there, because when I looked earlier, I don't know, maybe an hour ago, this Blackberry Beauty designer paper is still available. And this is one of the projects that we did because this is from last year's mini. So this is one of the projects we did. So, and it's just gorgeous paper. You just pop that out. So this is kind of like a fun fold that I demoed, and it was a class project. Okay, so this paper is just absolutely gorgeous. And don't forget to grab some of this gold ribbon. I think it's called gold shimmer ribbon. Maybe not. Yeah, what is it called? I can't remember, but it's in the mini catalog. Okay, it absolutely goes with this, and of course. This is an old ephemera pack that's no longer available, but I mean, you can see the two-sided paper. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And then of course I paired it with the basic border dies as well to kind of create that image. Okay, so just definitely gorgeous right here. This is one of my most popular pins on Pinterest. You can see some of these ideas on my Pinterest page as well, okay? If you haven't caught me on Pinterest yet, make sure you check it out and follow me there, okay? This is my favorite one here, just the gold in it. So, so even gold foil goes with this really, really well too, okay? There's the inside of that. And this one's gorgeous as well, the owl. And there's an ephemera pack that goes with this. So there's some die cut images that coordinate with this paper as well. So the designer paper is on sale for $6 a package. And there's some other stuff there to check out as well. But just remember, they are while supplies last, okay? And then I created like this really cool belly band. This had a die cut set that the stamp set went with it, so this was really easy to create, and then your cards can go inside. So all right, so want to remind you, check out the clearance rack, okay? There's still some great things on there. There's some red ribbon, sheer ribbon. If you do a lot of tags or tying up packages, I love our ribbon. Our ribbon is just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so let's move on. We're moving on to the Boughs of Holly designer paper. Okay, so Christmas is here. We've got the poinsettias, and we've got some evergreen trees, and then there's holly leaves and sprigs in here, and there's more poinsettias here. It's not a good piece to show. And then we've got some like solid pieces. This is like tree bark here, like a birch tree bark. And then this is just kind of like a background type paper, okay? All right, so let's move on. So this next card is a great way to use up your scraps, okay? So I've already pre-cut some scraps here, all right? And we're using cherry cobbler paper and mossy meadow again. We've got a label from our tailor-made tags. Okay, we'll set that aside. And I've already applied the adhesive to this, okay? So these are just designs from that package. So I'm going to kind of, I don't know, kind of lay things out how I think I want them to look, okay? Let me see here. Yeah, how do I want them to look? Nancy, well, let's see. I think we're going to go like this. And then we'll do this. Let's do that. I need to get some red in here somewhere. We'll just kind of go like that, okay? There's no right or wrong reason. It's just a great way, and you can make your scraps all different varies of widths, okay? But the key is when we're doing this, because I'm going to do these at an angle, you have to make sure that your designer paper goes off the cardstock, okay? So let me give an example. This one it's not going to fit corner to corner, okay? So you just want to make sure your lengths are big enough. These might be, you have to go on to the edge, okay? So, so just kind of put a little thought into it to make sure it's going to hit where you want it to go. Okay, so let's see here. Let me get my pattern going here again, and let's just kind of go like this, I think. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, we'll try this. I think I'm gonna do this in my middle, okay? So let's should have need to move my strips out of the way a little bit. So I've got room to work. There we go. And so that you guys can see as well. Okay, reorganize here, Nancy. Okay, so I've already applied the adhesive, so I'm going to take this off. And remember, just make sure you are being careful. Try not to touch the edges, okay? So we're going to, so some of them are maybe 3/4, some are 1/2 inch. Let's just go like this, okay? So we're going to start there, and then I'm going to leave like about 1/8 of an inch. You can leave as much or as little that you want shown, okay? Because it's your project. So I'm just kind of guessing here. And when you get to the edge, that's where you're going to have a little bit left over, but that's okay. We're going to fix that. Let's see. Hopefully I did this right. Hopefully this, I don't think there's any wrong way to do this, okay? Let's add this into here. Hopefully I've cut enough strips. I think so. And then we'll go like this, okay? And then I think we're gonna just do this on the end. So if you cut, like, you could even cut your 12 by 12 and just totally cover it. And then you flip it over, okay? And this is sometimes where you might want like a long pair of scissors and just trim off the excess. Kind of work your way around. Remember, don't touch your adhesive, okay? And just trim this off. And you can use these little bits and pieces. I mean, you could kind of create any pattern that you want. and just have fun with it. You could die cut some shapes and then fill in the rest, you know. That would be kind of fun. It could even be like circles or different shapes or whatever. So I want some poinsettia. We got to fill this here, so we're just going to cover this up right there, and then just make sure you're pressing well also, okay? And we will trim this one off. Okay, I mean, you've got all these bits and pieces. You could kind of create like a mosaic look as well. I mean, just get creative. I should try that. And just kind of fit them in and just have fun with it, you know, and just create a different cool design with it. So there's all that fun stuff that you could still do something with. Okay, so there's our pattern. What do you think? All right. Okay. Whoops. Oh boy. I got a little zealous there. Okay. I'm getting gold all over. Okay, so let's pick up some of this gold here. And we're going to rub it into those spaces that it left. I could do this all day, I think. Just make these cards because I love that gold look. Okay, so just keep rubbing it. And actually, a jar of this lasts a really, really long time. But just remember, you really need to have some type of container to work with, because it just, it could be a little bit shallower if you want, because this is kind of deep, but I wanted it deep enough so I could keep this this messy bottle inside of it as well. Okay, I think that looks good, so let's just do a final swipe here. Okay, maybe that corner right there. There. Okay, all right, that looks good. All right, what do I do with my lid here? Let's just put the lid on this, and we'll get rid of that. Whoops. There we go. Okay. See the gold? Let's just see if we can wipe a little bit of this up. There we go. Okay, so isn't that just gorgeous? Okay, the richness of the gold with that, this Christmas paper just really... Oh, Gail, I love this comment. Okay, with all the gold leafing on you, I'll look like $1,000,000. Okay. Anyways, well, I'm going for my flu shot after this, so I'm gonna really be $1,000,000, right? Okay, so yes. Okay, so let's adhere this. All right, and oh, and before I forget, I have to remind. I'm gonna put a reminder up next week, because next week I'm going to be out of town. I'm going with my friends. We're going quilting again. So I've got 3 days of quilting ahead of me next week. So I'm looking forward to that. And so there won't be a live, but I will have, the game is, hopefully it works out, where I'll post a pre-recorded video for you on my YouTube channel. So make sure you go there and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button and the bell so you get a notification through your email. I believe it comes through your email, okay? And it'll let you know that there's a new video up there, okay? I think, and I'll show you what I plan to showcase next week in just a second. So this is from the Brightest Glow stamp set, and I love the font of this greeting. It just looks so pretty. Isn't that just gorgeous? It just looks so elegant, and with the gold of this, I love it. Okay, we're gonna add this gold. Is it golden vanilla? not sure if it's golden finesse. I don't know. It's this gold edge satin ribbon, I guess, is what this is called. And I want to tie a bow. So we're going to have a longer length than normal. I think I cut enough. So let's do this. Tie a bow directly onto the tag. Hi Pat, welcome. And Kathy, I missed you coming in. So here, we'll tie a bow and there we go. Okay, I think that looks good. And we'll trim it afterwards. We will add some dimensionals to this, okay? So let's add some dimensionals. And another quick and simple card, and really a great way to use up your scraps as well. If you have scraps, okay? So I wonder why my video ended. Okay, so let's just add this onto here. And we will then add some dimensionals on this as well. Okay. And there we go. Okay, Elaine. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Dorothy. Love the gold rub. Yes, the gilded leafing is really cool. And this can all be purchased in my online store, okay? So make sure you check that out. There's a host code there this month. And I'm going to put this on our cherry cobbler cardstock. You can use, and after this video there'll be a shopping list that will help you with everything that was used, the supplies as well. Okay, so let's trim our tails here. I think that one looks, give it a little trim. Okay, isn't that just gorgeous? I love it. I don't think we need any bling either. Okay, so let's so in this set is this other inside greeting. May the peace of the season light your world, and may your new year be the brightest, which I love. So I might actually have some Christmas cards to mail this year. Okay. Oh, speaking of that, all right, I'm on the ball this week, and I picked some comment winner numbers. So number 18 and number 4. If you were the 4th and the 18th comment, I'm going to send you one of these cards in the mail. So if I don't have your address, I'll be messaging you. You can check back too, and you can message me if I don't get to it, okay? All right, so let's add this on some Mossy Meadow cardstock here. So let's do this, and then we will put this on the inside. Okay, whoops. Oh, that's what I forgot. All right, so I'm going to show you something here. So I got this piece here, and we're going to just trim this really quick because I didn't do that. I think I got enough here. I do. 5 inches is what I need. Okay, so let me just double check. Is that what I need? Yes, we're going to put this down here. I could have made it a little bit smaller, but we're just going to go with this, okay? This really makes it pop as well. Isn't that just gorgeous? Look at that. Isn't that just a beautiful card? I think so. All right, so make sure you give lots of hearts and thumbs up if you love this. Okay, so project number 2. Let me know what your favorite one is. I feel like my light just went out for some reason. It's so weird. Hang on. I don't know why. My ring. Okay. Hopefully we didn't. Oh, I think it's falling apart here. Okay. All right, so let me put the 2 projects down here, and then I want to show you maybe a sneak peek of some of the product that we'll use in next week's YouTube video for you all. Okay, so let's move so you guys can see that. So wonderful card. Thank you, Colleen and Stella and Anne. And if you have questions, let me know. I think I was trying to. Okay, oh, hi, Edith. I think, am I saying your name right? Edith, welcome. And thank you for subscribing. I would love for you to be a subscriber. There we go. Okay. And phone is acting up today. Okay. All right. So let me show you another little sneak peek. I'm looking at my list so I don't forget to say anything. Okay. So this is the Flitting Florets. Let me move these stamps out of the way so I don't get any ink on stuff. So this is the Frame Floret stamp set and Frame Florets dies here. What I love about these is there's some great leaves in here, but the ovals are really cool. This one just cuts ovals into your paper. This is a great die cut oval here. It cuts the outside and the inside, and I'll show you that. The same with this one too. And then we have some dies that go with the stamp set right here. So it's really, really cool. And then there's part of the suite. There's also this bonus stamp set, framed and festive. So it's all kind of geared towards Christmas words in the holiday season. And then they also have, what do they call these? Gold adhesive back swirls. They're little tiny swirls. They kind of look like a wheel, a spoke, you know, the wheel spokes on a bicycle is kind of what it looks like right there. So, but let's look at, so I've been fussy cutting, as you can see. So, there's this design right here is what I've been fussy cutting. All these beautiful flowers and everything. One of the dies does cut out this one here. There's this shade of pink. This is the Positively Pink shade right here. It will cut that one out. And the die will cut out this Blushing Bride flower as well. These are both the same size. Okay, everything else though does need to be fussy cut. But let's look at the frames here, okay? So here's the one frame. See how it cuts out the oval, and then it also at the same time cuts out that inner one as well. And then let's look at the other large one here. Let me get a dark one so it shows up. This is, so a lot of the colors are in this paper is Balmy Blue, Blushing Bride, Positively Pink, Night of Navy. So this one has the inner one too that goes with it. What else is in here? Soft Succulent, Evening Evergreen, maybe Crushed Curry's in here too. It's just really the Crushed Curry is the highlights on the flowers. So that's kind of cool. But these can be used anytime. So let me also tell you, this promotion, this this collection of products starts November 1st, okay? But right now, demonstrators can purchase this collection of products. And if you're not a demonstrator, you can join and be part of the Stampin' Up! Family for only $99 and choose up to $155 worth of products. You can easily get this collection of products and then some more. So if you'd love to have more information about the starter kit, please feel free to message me. And we can talk more about it. And you could be part of my Inking with Heart team members as well. Okay. Okay, so let's look at the rest of this designer paper. So there's that's one side of our designer paper. Just beautiful. I love these blues and greens together as flowers. It's just striking. And these petite ones are really beautiful. It's all just gorgeous. And then here's the flip side, okay? So we've got this nice balmy blue with white sprigs on it. And we've got a pattern, a check pattern, Blushing Bride here, and then this is a mixture of navy, Night of Navy, and balmy, and then this one here is Soft Succulent, and there's like some greenery on the back side of this one, like sprigs here. So it's just absolutely gorgeous. So I'll have some projects using this suite of projects video for you, hopefully, if everything goes okay. It's a busy weekend here. And I'll film that before you so you can watch it next Wednesday, okay? And I'll put a reminder up as well. So let me just, I think that's it, okay? So I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, I'm always thinking of stuff last minute. If you're local to me, I am doing a holiday craft shop. Mary Pat and my daughter Mary Pat and I are we think we're gonna do it again this year. It'll be our first one for, I think it's been 3 years since we've had one due to COVID. So I'll be having news about that shortly, but save the dates that weekend before. November 18th and 19th, okay? So I hope you mark your calendars and come out and see us and join us for some great, she's been crafting up a storm. So yeah, so anyways, okay, everybody, thank you so much. Have an awesome weekend, and I'll be seeing many of you soon. And Elaine, safe travels. I'm excited to be seeing you too this weekend. And the paper and stamp dies are tempting. Yes, Gail, they are. So you put a pause on your projects. Yes. Well, oh, that's what I forgot to say. Okay. Let me just be clear about one thing. This is a sneak peek of the dies and this stamp set in the mini catalog. Okay, let me get this. Okay, so just the dies and this stamp set, what's it called? Frame florets are going to be in the mini catalog. Okay, but this and this other stamp set, the gems and the designer paper are available starting November 1st and while supplies last, okay? They do not carry over to the mini catalog of January through June, okay? Just to be clear on that, all right? So if you love this, I really encourage you to order early, because I think the designer paper is going to be sought after, and I have no clue as to how much the stock they have on hand. So so just keep that in mind if it's something you're interested. Okay, all right, I will see many of you this weekend in a couple of days. So have a great night, and thank you for joining me. I so appreciate your support, and make sure to do some hearts, likes, and leave me a comment, and go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, bye bye everybody. Thanks so much.